I've always loved listening to storytellers, but I've also always wondered what it would be like to be my own storyteller. I love to write and I love to talk. As you can tell, I cannot shut up. So combined, boom, storytelling. But there was one small problem. I, like almost every other teenage girl, was literally petrified of what the people around me would think. You see, writing is something that I love, but it's not something really my friends are into. See, I kind of found myself in a box. Oh, I cannot even get in the box. Okay. I found myself in a box with all my friends. We all had the same taste in music, clothes, and even movies. Writing, that didn't fit into the box. So, what did I do? I ignored the idea. I know, not the most courageous thing or motivating thing to say during a TED Talk. But I wasn't about to risk getting judged by a bunch of 8th graders over some idea. No way. So, I thought I could just go back to my normal routine. But that did not happen, as this wasn't just some idea. This was the idea. I couldn't stop thinking about the stories I could write and who I'd tell them to. It got to a point where it literally drove me insane. So eventually, I decided I had enough. I was gonna write a story, and I was gonna tell it to everyone. Even if I saw a random dude on the street, I was gonna tell my story. Even if I saw 6 or 7 people on the street, I was gonna tell them my story. So, I got ready to leave the box. Well, a foot outside the box. By this, I mean, I told a story that I had written to one of my friends, because I was still terrified of what people around me would think. But I realized, oh my God, hey, this actually isn't even that bad. So I took an arm out, and then another, and I eventually found myself outside of the box. So now, let's flip the tables. Let's talk about how all of you, yes, all of you, can step outside of your box. Because if I can, you definitely can. My first piece of advice is to not tell the whole world and try to reinvent yourself overnight. Secondly, take it slow, or like I did, real slow. I'm gonna give you an example of why it is not at all ideal to jump outside of the box. One day, I was in my humanities class, and we had just finished writing essays. And my teacher, Miss Frederick, said, "All right, class, one of you, tell me your story," in front of the whole entire class. Obviously, I didn't raise my hand, because I was deep inside of my box, like Titanic deep into the ocean. But guess what? Nobody else raised their hand. So, she said she was gonna pick at random. And who did she pick? She picked me. And I did not want to go up there at all. I was completely terrified. I was put into a situation where I was being completely pushed outside of my box. I felt helpless. But I stood, essay in hand, about to read it in front of the whole class. But then the bell rings. And when I tell you that I ran so fast, I mean, I ran that I could be part of the Olympics. I'm not even joking. So, that story reminds me of 2 things. Firstly, of how lucky I was. But second, of how I was not at all ready to be outside the box. Now, you're probably wondering, okay, Osyma, what will keep you outside of the box? Delusion, as it did for me. Because now I believe I can do anything, even if it's different from others. Write a book, sure. Be the next Picasso, why not? The best part about stepping outside the box isn't that you finally get to be yourself, although that's really nice. It's that you finally stop waiting to ask permission to do the thing you love. For me, stepping outside the box meant becoming a storyteller. For you, it might mean something else. It might mean picking up a paintbrush, or even starting a business, or saying yes to something that terrifies you. Look at this audience. It's a box, but hopefully one day I hope to see one of you, even those all the way in the back, on stage here. Because if I, a 13-year-old box-hugging girl that talks way too much, can do this, you absolutely can too. Thank you.